So I introduced them, and Aya, being the sweetheart that she is, I mean, she greeted Medina in like the sweetest way possible. And a huge part of me really wanted them to be really close friends because Aya and I already had the title of best friends. And when you have a best friend and when somebody else comes into the picture, you kind of get iffy about the person. You just want what's best for your best friend, and you want her to be happy, and you want to get to know the people that she talks to and that she's with, or the people that she's becoming friends with. And that's one of the reasons why I let Aya know. I introduced them because I really wanted them to be friends. After that, Aya kind of messages me and is like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I'm kind of iffy about this girl. I have a bad vibe from her. I'm not saying, you have to stop talking to her. I'm just saying, just be careful. And I didn't think too harshly of it. I kind of just went with the punches and was like, okay, that's fine, I will. And after that, we all became really good friends. Not really good. I knew Aya was not really into it. She kind of got quiet afterwards, and but we would still chat. She would still chat with Medina, even if she was putting a fake smile on. She did. I thought they were getting along, but I knew that something else was really triggering in Aya's mind, and I guess Medina saw that, and she kind of took me away from my best friend, and I'm not gonna say it was all Medina's fault. It was my fault for letting it happen. I didn't see what was going on at the time that it was happening, but now that I think of it now and going back to that point, I was like, oh, okay, that's why she did that. So me and Medina started being secretive, and the only reason why her and I were being secretive was because of Michael. And at that point of time, I was really falling deeper and deeper into her trap. And I was actually believing that Michael was alive. When you're going through a death of somebody really important to you, even though you didn't know him personally, him being part of your life growing up and being there for you, and even in his music, you're kind of in denial of anything negative. You want to hear these things. You want to hear, Michael is alive. He's not dead. He's alive. And at that point, I was kind of really thinking that. I wanted to hear what Medina was telling me. I wanted to believe, and I wanted to believe and believe and believe, and I did. I really did. She posed as him. How I said earlier that she was basically the only person in contact with Michael. I don't know if physical or spiritually. I really don't know, because she made it seem as if it was real. In both ways. So I went with it. I said, okay, I want in on this. And I didn't want to tell Aya because I knew she was going to be like, you're crazy, what are you doing? Are you stupid? Or, what's going on with you? Like, why are you believing this? And I guess I wanted to believe it. I didn't want to hear the contrary, and I guess that's why I separated myself from Aya. And you know, I tell her over and over till this day that I'm sorry. I didn't know what was going on. You know, I believed that Michael was alive because the way she would make it seem, because of the accounts that would just randomly appear on my channel and be like, hey, you know, I love you, this is Michael. Or, you know, I didn't know it was Medina. I really didn't. I didn't. And I thought it was true. I thought it was so cool because here I am, you know, talking to Michael, and you know, I think back on it and I'm like, really, Elle? Really? You're really going? Why did you even believe that in the first place? But my mental state of mind was way down here rather than how I used to have it up here. And so any little thing I believed. And that's how I've always been. You know, my brother would say, you know, there's aliens outside and go see them, and I would believe him and I would go, and it would just be pitch black. So I believed Medina. I really did. And she would say, you know, I talked to him, he's in my room, you know, I do all of this with him, you know, I talk to him, he gives me advice, and you know, and the things that I really got more into, what I wanted to hear, was when she would say, oh, you know, Michael says that he loves you and that he thinks you're beautiful and this and that. And the one thing with Medina is her looks are extremely deceiving. And I didn't mention this, I forgot to, but when I first went into her YouTube account, during those rumors that were happening, she had a picture of a beautiful girl and Michael Jackson morphed, well, not really morphed, like they were side by side, photocropped basically. And I asked her, is this you? She's like, yeah, it's me. I'm like, you're so beautiful, you know, you're really beautiful. And it wasn't until last year that I found out that that picture that I first saw of Medina, who, you know, and she said that it was her, was in reality Claudia Lynx. And I was like, wow, you know, everything I find out, I find things out on a daily basis of Medina, you know what I mean? So at this point, I'm still in contact with Aya, but I'm not really myself anymore because I'm too hooked on this game that Medina is trying to play. I don't know why she did it. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know. I really till this day don't know. I don't know if she's still posing as Michael, but back then she did it, and she did it really good. I would receive texts, you know, of sounding exactly like Michael, you know, the way he would speak, the words that he would use, and I would think, this is, oh my god, Michael just texted me. But it was really Medina trying to do something. So yeah, that's what she did. And it was hard, and day by day as time went by, I got more and more hooked on it. I was kind of distancing myself more and more from Aya, and Medina was kind of getting obsessive at this point. She would get mad when I would say I'm talking to Aya. She would get mad when I wouldn't reply to her immediately. She would get mad if I didn't say certain things to her. She would get really, really angry. And I don't know why, but she did. And I guess I got extremely annoyed because nobody would get this obsessive with me. But I got fed up with it. I really did, and I ended it right then and there. I didn't care about, you know, what she was doing. She made me believe that Michael was always with me. And if I had ended my friendship with her, she would say that Michael's going to leave you. You know, he's not going to love you anymore if you end our friendship. And I got mad. I was like, well, why is he just with you? You know what I mean? Why? What is so good about you that he's just with you and not other friends all over the world? Why isn't he with his children if he were still alive, or however you claimed, you know, that you saw him as? Why is he just with you, and why are you even saying this to me? You know what I mean? She really got me angry. She was really obsessive. She was really hooked. But I kind of ended it because I saw myself as not myself, as how I used to be. I saw myself as a different person. So I ended my friendship with her. I changed my number. I told her, you stop texting me, I'm going to change my number. And she's like, you're not going to change your number. We're not going to stop talking. What are you talking about? Like, no. She would tell me, you know, shut up. You're not going to stop being my friend. And that got me even more angry, and I changed my number, and I was like, I'm not going to put up with you anymore. And so I completely ended my friendship with her.